The news that the country is to go to level 5 of the lockdown measures for 6 weeks is obviously devastating for so many people. And it's only a couple of weeks ago that Leo Varadkar came out talking about how, so many hundreds of thousands of jobs will be lost overnight. And then there's obviously that concern once again. This happens a week and a half, 2 weeks later. Obviously, that reality doesn't change. So it's terrible for people at large, especially those voiceless people out there who don't have the platform. People running small businesses, and where do they go from here? So that's obviously first and foremost in everyone's mind. Not to mention the flip side is trying to make sure that people don't lose their lives from COVID either. So it's a difficult situation, of course. The news is that the GAA is set to continue as an elite level sport is allowed to be played. And I think that's a great thing for so many reasons. Now, first off, any player who wants to opt out, and we've seen it with one or two players already, they have opted out. Anyone who has any issue with that is mad altogether, because everyone has their own circumstances. And if they want to opt out, if they're living with elderly people, if they, there could be any certain circumstance. If they want to opt out, 100%, no one will say a word to them, and I think that should be the way of it. But for those who do want to play, and we haven't seen clusters at games actually playing the sport. Of course, up and down the country, there are situations where people are having house parties or people are having post-match gatherings and this kind of stuff. But that's something that's replicated across society. People who aren't playing sports are having their house parties. People playing soccer and winning a local tournament, they're off having parties. We've all anecdotally heard of these situations, and the GAA has become a bit of a lightning rod for this sort of stuff, that people who don't like the GAA or the association, they're using it as a stick to beat with. 200 plus county fines between hurling and football at all the different levels, and a few people let themselves down, and we've seen those situations, and they're regrettable. But that's not, why should the GAA as an association or people in general get hammered for it? Why should people kind of talk as if this is the reason for a surge in cases? There are many, many reasons, and just to put it down to GAA, and using it as a stick to beat the GAA with, and people who play Gaelic games, just comes across as a little bit absurd. Obviously we've talked about being in an outdoor setting, 19 times less likely to transmit. So the GAA is set to go ahead, and I think for many reasons, like the GAA continuing to play the season, they're the ones, it's difficult for them to continue doing the season. They, in many ways, don't have a lot to gain. It's the government who have a lot to gain from elite sports continuing in the GAA, because, look up and down the parishes of Ireland. These places, they identify themselves through GAA. They live for GAA. We know that, like, at this stage, it's a bit trite saying it's as important as life or more important than life, whatever. Doesn't really matter. The thing is that from one end of the week to the next, people are talking about GAA, thinking about GAA, so the government needs something to placate the masses. So if you're, I don't know, a 70-year-old man, we have probably a lot of people thinking of their parents, and if it's level 5 lockdown for the next 6 weeks, what do they have to look forward to at the weekends? Between Monday and Friday, what do they have to talk about? We all know what it was like during the summer, calling relatives and stuff like that, and your question to them is, well, how's things with you? And it's a talk about the lockdown, and pretty quickly you run out of road. At least with sports continuing, for those who are happy to play it, as I keep saying, you can talk with people about the match coming at the weekend, the match just played at the weekend, you're watching the match, there's stuff to look forward to and build up to, and analysing that type of thing. And I think so many people, they'll find it easier to get through these next 6 weeks of level 5 with that. We're wait to see what the government has to say exactly. As I'm talking, it's just the reports have come out, and we've seen the leaks in the last couple of days. That's kind of disconcerting, from all different areas at the top end of society. We'll wait to see 100% what's going to go ahead. But as things stand, GAA is going to go ahead, elite level sports, and I think it's an excellent thing. And please let me know what your thoughts are on it.